It's lights out and we are racing in Moto3 here in Indonesia. It's a great launch away from pole position by Ivan Ortola, but even better, launching away alongside him on the front row is Honda Team Asia star Taya Furusato, who surely will get the whole shot on the short sweep into the first corner. Around the outside goes Tatsuki Suzuki. Brilliant, he goes around the outside of Lanetta and Alonso. Superbly launched by the Japanese rider.
Yeah, Lanetta getting beaten up a little bit in these early stages. He's lost at least 3 places. Rueda and one of the Boe bikes are ahead of him as well. Alonso was okay off the line, but as you say, just got completely mugged by Suzuki into turn 1.
Yeah, Suzuki started in 7th place, but he just opted and gambled on that sweeping wider line through the first corner. It paid big dividends. He got himself immediately up into 5th place. There he is on the number 24 bike. They go through the high-speed second sector. Furusato lost all of his momentum there, did he? And he gets swallowed up by Fernandez, Veijer and Ortola. They all sweep on through with the slipstream there, down the brakes into turn 10. Fernandez briefly led, but it is now the 95 of Veijer, started second. He is in P1 and he's leading a Grand Prix once again. Ortola then, he sweeps in for the first of his 2 long laps, followed immediately by Xabi Zuratuza as well.
That's Rueda, who's just got 1 long lap penalty to serve, so he's now clear to fight from there. Zuratuza, of course, has 2 of them to serve. Ortola then feeds back in 19th place.
Fernandez hitting the front. Fernandez is brilliant in that second sector, the high-speed change direction where you've got to be really aggressive, have a confident, agile motorcycle underneath you. And Fernandez picks soft fire on the run down to the top end of the circuit on the brakes into turn 10. So it's Adjin Fernandez then that leads. Here is Ortola then in for his 2nd long lap. So this will be long lap completed. He was in 11th place. He dropped down to 16th after his first long lap. He slots in ahead of Boisri there, doesn't he?
22nd that should be then for Ivan
19th.
Ortola. 19th as he came back onto the track. Boisri has gained a couple of places, of course, because of Farioli and Almansa dropping out of the race on that last lap. Veijer then back at the front then ahead of Fernandez. Furusato coming through up the inside of David Alonso.
Rammed up the inside of Suzuki in that turn 16. He loves that little move, and now he's on the inside of Furusato. So making moves, hard moves on both Japanese riders in this league group, Suzuki and Furusato. That has pushed Holgado now up into 4th place.
This is the best we've seen in 2024 from Tatsuki Suzuki, who goes up the inside now of the World Championship leader David Alonso. Suzuki, who's only been in the top 6 once this year, he's now up in the podium spots.
On Alonso! And that is Veijer. That's Colin Veijer, who's crashed out of the lead group. Well, we've seen that before, haven't we? That was a huge one for Veijer. That's going through turn 13. That's a big get-off for the Netherlands teenager. Happy to see him walking away from that one because that was really, really fast. Look at the front, the smoke off the front tyre there, and Colin Veijer then tumbles out of the lead here. And look at Lanetta through on Vaqueras and Alonso into the first corner. Some move that by the number 58, although he runs in hot.
Yeah, Alonso tries, he just can't make any real progress through this pack. He's having this battle with a couple of rookies for 6th, 7th and 8th, but he's just watching the top 5 have their own race up ahead of him. So Alonso now is back into 6th place.
It's Fernandez then that will lead over the line to start lap 15 of 20. 3/4 of the way through this Mandalika Grand Prix. Holgado trying to pick up some slipstream here behind Tatsuki Suzuki. The old veteran in Moto3 not having it on. He runs it a little bit high. He's just desperate. You could sense that Holgado was coming up behind him. They tap, they rub shoulders, and with the contact there, Suzuki comes out by far the worst of it because Munoz just eased through on the inside. And now Munoz then up into P3 from 13th place on the grid. There he is on the 64 bike now.
Suzuki, he's now trying to outbrake about 3 or 4 riders there. Forosato's in the middle of it all, and Munoz does come out of it in 2nd place. I think Alonso is getting a move on now as Munoz loses one. For Furusato, loves that move through the fast change of direction as Alonso's now potentially going to come under pressure here from Lanetta and from Suzuki, who once again gets such a slingshot through 7, 8 and 9. Alonso, though, on the brakes decides to turn defence into attack and goes through on Munoz. 5 laps to go and the World Championship leader has decided, right, time to get going. Fernandez for too much longer either. Forzato looking to go through in second place. Holgado's already gone through, and boy is it turned sour in a hurry for Adrian Fernandez from first, now down to fifth.
First to fifth in the blink of an eye. Forzato there in second place. Alonso just keeping that watching brief. Just look at the speed once again that Forzato and Suzuki carry through 8 and 9. And here we go. It's going to script, isn't it? As David Alonso once again starts his late show. Forzato was out of control, out of shape there on the brakes, wasn't he? On the Honda Team Age machine, he's disappeared out of our shot. There he is now, all the way back in 8th place. Drops in front of Joel Kelso. So Tyre Forzato, who has made key mistakes in key moments of Grand Prix so far this season, has got all the hard work to do now once again. Just how much did that mistake cost him? A 1:39.8 cost him, well, yeah, cost him a 10th or 2 compared to the Negro. Oh, he's down, gone down. And now Forzato, having made the big mistake, 15 seconds earlier, going into turn 16.
Alonso is now way back. Alonso gets a forward. Look at Munoz just parting the Red Sea, and Lanetta fifth all the way up into the lead. 5 abreast going into turn 10. Alonso made a right hash of turns 8 and 9, lost all of his drive, had to close the throttle because he was worried about exceeding the track limits there. As Piqueras almost lose the front going into turn 11. Forzato was able to walk away from the scene of his big crash. Fernandez then back at the front. 2 laps to go here in Mandalika, just under 10 kilometres remaining. Alonso back on the inside of Lanetta into P3 at the first corner. And that crash of Forzato, could that be dealing the terminal blow to Daniel Holgado's already faint World Championship hopes? Because that's what's put him now all the way back in 7th place with half a second to make up, as looked like Piqueras there was getting turn 3 all wrong, which is going to cost him the place to Lanetta. You can lead at one point on this lap, but if you get 7, 8, 9 all wrong, you can cost yourself all that momentum and all of those places. This could go any one of 6 ways yet. 1 lap remaining then of this classic Moto3 race here in Mandalika. It's advantage Fernandez by nearly 0.3 of a second. Alonso on the inside of Munoz into the first corner. He has made that move at work. So we now then have Spaniard leading, Fernandez, Colombian in second place, trying to take a huge stride towards the Moto3 World Championship. Munoz third, Lanetta fourth, it's Piqueras in fifth, Holgado sixth, then Suzuki and Kelso. We know how super strong those Pure Mobility Group bikes are on the brakes. We know that the Hondas are very, very well through the fast sweeping changes of direction. So can Fernandez use the strengths of his machine to keep himself clear of Alonso? Alonso will surely be targeting a move into turn 10. Well, it's the first big opportunity. He gets the brilliant speed. Look at the momentum that Alonso is able to carry through 8 and 9, and he sets the move up quite perfectly on the inside of Fernandez into 10. Munoz also attacks Fernandez into turn 10 as well. So it's Alonso that leads. Munoz in second place. Is Munoz going to try a late attack here on Alonso? You know it's coming. That's Fernandez on the inside of Munoz again into 11. Well, you know who that's all playing into the hands of? David Alonso out in front. The 80 now has 3 or 4 bike lengths over there, and it's a trio of Hondas that are in the mix along with Munoz, but Alonso looks clear. Alonso moving towards a historic moment. This could be win number 13 in his Moto3 World Championship career, taking a gigantic stride towards the Moto3 World Championship as Piqueras aggressive on the inside of Lanetta, but it could be win lucky number 13, is it, for David Alonso? This would tie Romano Fenati's winning record in the Moto3 World Championship. David Alonso produces yet another spectacular show here in Mandalika. What an incredible Moto3 Grand Prix that was here in Lombok.